So I'm just marking the lines of the legs, spacings of the legs onto the back of this plinth. Put a couple of bits of cardboard down because there's a high gloss finish on this plinth. You don't want to damage it, and there's plenty of cardboard kicking around. I'm sort of eyeballing this through. I don't think you need to go like berserk mad, as long as it's got a couple of mil either way, because obviously these plinth brackets sort of slide. They've got some lateral movement, so I'll take this back out, bring it up the top here, probably square the designs up a little bit, put a mid line through and screw those brackets on, and then we can clip that plinth on. The other thing that I'll do here, obviously, as I said in other videos, as you can see there, left the factory edge on the edge that goes down to the floor. On this raw MDF edge here, I should put some PVA to seal that up. Obviously, on a lot of kitchens we have this sort of plastic trim that goes along the bottom that seals the plinth sort of down to the tile. But we haven't got this in this instance, so fortunately this is a new build. So the floor's been nice and level and screeded. The guy that's done the tiles has done a good job, so we don't need to scribe this to the floor. So let's get those brackets put on now. Here's the little clips that we put on the back of the plinth. There's two parts. That's the part that clips onto the leg, and this is the part that screws onto the plinth. So the two just sort of interact together, and as I said earlier, you've got a sort of degree of lateral movement there, so that's why you don't have to be ridiculously accurate when you're marking your legs out. So what I'm going to do is sort of pick a sort of midpoint. I'll go maybe sort of halfway. So what we've got there, I think we'll cut a bit off those 70, yeah. So if we put the row of holes at about 80 mil, we've got this big roofing square, because it's quite good for this, because it's got these little cutouts in. So if we say, what did I say, 80? So if we say, just roughly put 80 on there for the screws, that's going to be, yeah, there we go. So what we can do, can you see that one? No, let's do that. Square across here, and then just put a mark through. Look, super easy. Just put your pencil in one of these slots and run it up the side. So just a load of marking out we've got to do. So just do those for those. Probably a little bit excessive, but you know, keeps things straight, doesn't it? But the other thing I was going to say is, kind of a bit of a golden rule really, that you should never really work over like a finished worktop like this in terms of screwing stuff, because you know, you make a mistake, bosh, you've damaged your worktop. Obviously I'm being very, very careful here, and I've only got some really light duty screws to put in, but generally if you can avoid it, you don't use a finished worktop like this as a workbench, because you could end up giving yourself a lot of grief, especially this stone, you know, that's not really repairable. So let's get these screwed in here now. Yeah, you've only got to have a slip and all of a sudden you're in trouble. But I am pretty confident of what I'm doing. And just for these tiny little, these are only 3.5 per 16 mil screws, so you know, we've not got a great deal of force going down onto those. Switch to the drill driver here rather than the impact wrench, because as you saw earlier, it makes a lot of noise and you can't really feel where you are in terms of how tight the screws are, whereas having a drill like this, you can feel it much, much better. No chance of over tightening or stripping out threads. One more, I think. I'm one short. Story of my life. Nice. I'll just put these, slide these clips on now. That is ready. Just got to, oh, come on. Oh, there wasn't one spare, it was there, look. Can't see, that's the other story of my life. My eyes are going terrible. I need glasses now all the time for everything. Well, apart from drinking beer, I don't need glasses for that. It'd be a sad old day if you couldn't even find your face, was it, when you're drinking? Right. Right. That's great. So I'll just put some big air on that end and then we can fit that. Right, let's go. I'm just going to show a couple of bits of card down, just so I don't catch. I know it's probably overkill. This is all glazed tiles, it's all nice and clean, but I don't want to just have it. I don't want to catch the corner of that plinth and chip it. So I'll just do that for the sake of it. Right, here we go. Plinth in there gently. There we go. And then we should just push that back. Oh, that's beautiful. Clip, clip, clip. And we can just pull out that little card. And that is that. Look at that. That's excellent. Just got that other return to do now and a bit under the dishwasher. Got this final bit of plinth to put in here, and you'll notice that I've had to put a join in there because that measurement from there to there is longer than 3 metres, which is what the plinths come in. So the other thing that we've got to think about here is where the dishwasher door opens, it actually, the bottom of the door, as the door swings open, actually would hit where the plinth is. You can see there, look, it drops quite a bit below the line of the carcass. So what we have to do there is fairly common, is cut a piece out. So what I'm going to do is put this piece of plinth in, mark it, and then I'm going to cut it, and then I'll show you what I do with that cutout to stop water getting into it if there's any spillage from the dishwasher, which there's very likely there could be. Right, change the camera angle because otherwise all you can see is my big fat backside. So again, because I put the skirting on here first, this one's just going to have to slide in behind the skirting, and then it can go into position. That butts up nicely to that joint there, that's nice and tight. So now I can just mark where this dishwasher door needs to be cut for. A little mark there, and a little mark there. And I'd say we're looking about, I don't know, between sort of 15 mil maybe. Yeah, 15 to 18 mil we'll cut out there, so let's get that cut. I've cut this piece of plinth now, and as I said, I've cut out the recess for the bottom of that door. What I've done is given it a coat of PVA, but I'm going to go one step further on here to give it a bit of extra protection, but also make it look a little bit more factory. What I've got here, as you can see, this is aluminium foil. It's the kind of stuff that they stick ducts together, you know, like this aluminium ducting. It's very sticky, and obviously it's water resistant as well. So what I'm going to do, I've cut a couple of small bits here as well. What I'm going to do is just put a couple of small bits around the end here, and then I'm going to actually bring it down onto the sun's right in there, sorry. I'm going to bring it down onto the face a little bit here, stick it along there, roll it over onto the top bit and down the back. And as I said, that gives it extra protection, but also makes it look like quite factory. So that's what I'm going to do. Right, I've just moved the plinth down the worktop a bit because the sun was messing around with the camera. So I've got this tape here, and I've started the backing off, so I'm just going to peel that off gently and start to stick that on as I said. So let's have a look here. I don't want to come down onto the front too much, maybe just 10mm maybe. I'll cut this the right length as well, so let's have a look. Just to get about there, I reckon. And very sticky. Right, and then we'll roll that, get that where we want that to be. Lovely, and then we can take the rest of it off. Lovely. Just keep bringing it through. Lovely. Take that off there. Look at that. Nice. Got a few tiny kinks in it, but I did rescue this from another job, so you're not going to see it right down there. And then what we'll do is just gently fold that back over what we've already PVA'd, and then bosh. Straight down the back. So look, that already looks, you know, nice and silver, it's not too imposing down there, and I've just got these couple of small bits which I shall just put in on the edge here as well. Let's do that. Do that now. Okay, start that down there, don't roll up on me. Get to a right mess. Actually, let's start on the top there. There. And we can roll that down. I just need something tight to get in that corner. We can roll that down there. Wash. Look at that. Same the other side. That's it. What we've got there is, it looks pretty cool. You can't see the raw edge even though it is got some PVA on it. And that's given it an extra layer of, you know, protection against any water. So let's have a look here. So yeah, look, that's not bad there. And now I want to put that down there, that'll look sort of neat and tidy and keep the water out. One thing I will quickly say is another option for covering this raw edge underneath where the dishwasher aperture is if you've got, I haven't on this job, but if you've got the plinth that's got the sort of plastic moulding that goes on the bottom of it, I find you can just flip that upside down and that works really, really well on there as well, and probably even better, but it depends if you've got enough left over, because usually there's only enough for the plinth you've got, but yeah, that is another really good option to use that plastic trim on there. Let's just stick it in now. I have got to seal these ends, but just for the video, I'll fix it. I'll put it in. So it goes in behind that. Skirting to start with. Get it into position. And then it should snap into place. Lovely. Just squeeze it out. That goes down. Look at that now. Oh, look at that. Lovely. So there you go, that's all those plinths nicely fitted. Hope you found it interesting. Thanks for watching.